You heard him there refer to Sir David's tireless work in the field of animal welfare. He was unusual amongst traditional conservatives. He was fiercely opposed to fox hunting, so he's a man after my own heart. Let's speak now to the founder of the Conservative Animal Welfare Foundation and the co-founder of Conservatives Against Fox Hunting, Lorraine Platt. Good evening, Lorraine.
Good evening, Kevin.
What a terribly sad day. You must have worked quite closely with Sir David over the years, given that you both support the same cause.
Yes, as you just said, Kevin. It is a deeply sad day, and we're absolutely devastated at the loss of Sir David Amess. He has been a tireless champion for animal welfare for many years, and I've worked very closely with him for the last 10 years. Firstly, to protect the ban on hunting with hounds, and secondly, with the Conservative Animal Welfare Foundation. And Sir David has been a fantastic patron for all these years and a massive animal welfare champion. And we are deeply saddened at his passing away in such tragic circumstances. It just seems so senseless, and it's deeply sad. And we'd like to pass on our condolences and our thoughts with Sir David's wife and family at this very sad time.
Of course, and my condolences to you. It must be heartbreaking, particularly for someone who's worked so closely with him over the years. Don't take this wrong, but it's quite unusual. I mean, Sir David was very much a traditional conservative, a Thatcherite, a Brexiteer. It's quite unusual for a traditional conservative to be fiercely against fox hunting, to be fiercely in favour of animal welfare. Where did that come from in him?
Well, well, really, it's been a myth all these years that Conservative MPs aren't supportive of animal welfare issues, and this is why we started Conservatives Against Fox Hunting, and so David was involved at the very start because we wanted to overturn this myth, and it was important that this took place. And as you've heard recently with the government's recent animal welfare action plan, there are lots of fantastic measures to advance animal welfare. But as you rightly say, Sir David was one of the few MPs at the time to speak out against a return of fox hunting. But this increased significantly. Other MPs' numbers increased hugely over the last few years. So, many MPs stood by Sir David Amess and wanted to see the ban on fox hunting remain in place. But we work on many more issues than this.
Of course.
Sir David was very vocal against live exports, pig farrowing crates, ending cages for laying hens, ending trophy hunting imports, foie imports, fur imports, puppy smuggling, so many issues. He was a tireless campaigner, and he was always there ready to support us and many other animal welfare charities when help was needed, and he would lead debates, he would lead events for us in Parliament and at the party conference. He just recently spoke for us at the party conference last week on World Animal Day, to celebrate the animal kingdom and how important animal welfare is, to everybody. The general public have a great interest in animal welfare, and Sir David Amess recognises, and he was always thoroughly interested in animal welfare and wanted to promote it and advance it as much as he could. So we have a great loss, a great loss of a wonderful champion and a very kind and compassionate man and a very dear friend.
It's the word that keeps cropping up in descriptions about Sir David is the word kind. I've never heard it said so much of one person, so it clearly was his predominant trait. This program, Lorraine, we do a hell of a lot of stories about animal welfare. You and I must talk, and Sir David is the kind of guy that we should have got on as a guest. But where did it come from, this passion for animal welfare? In him, where do you think that came from?
Well, he said he grew up with many animals as a young boy growing up, and there were always animals around him, cats and dogs and other family companion animals. So I think that this was something he was passionate about at a very early age, and he was a tireless campaigner. He always wanted to provide a voice for the voiceless. And as he said at our World Animal event at the party conference last week, where we had the Deputy PM speaking and the Secretary of State George Eustace and many of our MP patrons, including Stanley Johnson, he said that animals can't talk for themselves, so we have to talk for them. And he was always this important, powerful voice, and he was always there for us at any time we needed him to speak. He was always glad to help where he could, and to help many animal welfare charities. He will be greatly missed by many of us. We received so many messages from other animal welfare charities saying how much they miss Sir David Amess, just across the whole political spectrum.
I mean, he was clearly a very compassionate man, but I'm sensing, we just spoke to Lord Eric Pickles, we've spoken to various people through the day. On a personal level, he was excellent company, a very convivial man who, although he took his job very, very seriously, he didn't mind a good laugh as well.
Yeah, he had a great sense of humour. I mean, he always made us laugh. We always loved seeing Sir David at events because we knew that he would make it fun, and he was just great company, and great to be around. He had a great joy of life, and he was just a fantastic man, just a brilliant man.
And I think that the two of you were doing good work because, I suppose I was a bit guilty of it when we began this conversation. There is this image of the Tory party that does persevere, which is, the hunting, fishing, shooting brigade. And people like you and Sir David have worked hard to try to dispel that image.
Yes, yes, and many other MPs as well. So many of us worked hard to dispel this image, such as Sir Roger Gale and our other patrons, Carrie Johnson, and also Stanley Johnson, and Teresa Villiers, Tracy Crouch, and Lady Gale, and Henry Smith. Henry Smith recently led a 10-minute rule bill to end cages for laying hens, called Beatrice's Bill, in the House of Commons just last month. And Sir David Amess was a co-sponsor of this bill, and he spoke about ending cages for laying hens at the party conference last week before a packed room full of MPs and councillors, at which the Deputy PM spoke, and the Secretary of State as well.
Well, I wish I'd have met him. He sounds like a wonderful man, and animal welfare is very close to my heart. If ever we can help with the Conservative Animal Welfare Foundation and all the work that you do, the great work you do, you got our number, and we'll always give you a voice here. Lorraine, thank you so much for joining
Thank
us
you.
with your memories of Sir David Amess. It's Lorraine Platt there, founder of Conservative Animal Welfare Foundation and co-founder of Conservatives Against Fox Hunting. We're going to leave it there with Sir David and just once again extend our deepest condolences to his wife and his 3 children and all the people who knew and loved him.